Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you're coming from. I hope you all are doing well. What's up? Hey, everybody, get in here. Get in here. What's going on? Jasmine, how you doing? League Poppy, Shirley, Sirius, get in, get in. Alrighty, folks. What a day ahead. What a day ahead. Gotcha. Oh, we already got the Pokemon card redemption. Oh boy. Mock interview. Oh boy. Hey, everybody got in here early. Thank you. We got Jenny. We got Emma B. Oh, Rossi, Cam. Oh my gosh, so many cool people. Cam Flora, how y'all doing? Good to see you all. Happy Love Day. Thank you for spending some time with myself and the rest of the 100 Devs crew. So good to see you. All right, tonight. Tessa Tickles. Thank you for the gifted subs. Appleter, hey, thank you for the gifted subs too. That's awesome. Code for dopamine. So good to see you. Madeline in the house. How you doing? Are we coded tonight? Yes, we are, Mr. We're coding tonight. Let's get into it. Tonight we have a wonderful sponsored stream by none other than Appwrite. A lot of you were there for our sponsored Discord stage last Friday. We got to see the wonderful Dennis come up, tell us about their career, their journey into DevRel, and a little bit about the Appwrite platform. I'm super, super pumped. I really do think this tool is going to help us do a lot of good at 100 Devs. I think it's going to help us build, and it's going to help folks, no matter where they're at in their learning journey, build really powerful stuff. For those that don't know, Appwrite has so graciously sponsored this wonderful stream. And so if you would do me a solid, if you would like to follow along with tonight, you can click this link or do !Appwrite in chat. That'll get you a link to sign up for Appwrite, plus $50 in pro cloud credits. If you have no idea what the heck that is, I'm going to explain it in a few seconds. But they have done so much for this community, not only doing T-spills even before sponsoring, and then sending their best and brightest to come hang out with us, help us write code. It's not just the sponsor, but they said they're bringing their best to help you write better code. They're participating in our community. I can't have ever dreamed up a better sponsor for us. And so if you do me a solid, click that link, sign up. It's completely free. And then you'll have everything you need to do to follow along tonight. And you don't need a credit card to click the sign up either. There's like a little X at the top right. If you don't want to plug in credit card right now, just when you want those free credits, you can do it. Nearly 1,400 people here. Where are you at during our huddles? See, that's the thing. The huddles be hitting sometimes, but we don't see everyone coming in and out. And if this has been your first time back with 100 Devs in a while, we're glad to see you. We do huddles every Tuesday and Friday, where we got 400 to 800 people sometimes hanging out, answering questions, helping people on the job hunt. Cool. Alrighty. Let's go ahead. We did that piece here. Now, some people ask, who is this for? Like, what is this stream for? Who is going to get something out of this? And I always like to say, if you're a beginner, if you're just starting out with JavaScript, we're going to do something fun for you tonight. If you're a pro and you've been doing JavaScripts for a while, you're still going to get a lot out of it as well. So I want to make sure that everyone knows that going into tonight, you're going to know a little bit of JavaScript. You're going to be able to hang around, figure out what's going on, pay attention. If you know a little bit more JavaScript, you're going to be able to help everybody else that's kind of picking up, right? And if you are super deep turbo nerd, well, boy, do you be able to build faster apps even quicker now. So don't worry if you're kind of joining 100 Devs, you just started 100 Devs, you're newer to the community. I think you're still going to get a lot out of this. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff that will be helpful for you long-term in your projects. Now, something very, very important to talk about is that our main rule at 100 Devs is be kind. DM Kessler, hey, thank you for the sub. It's be kind. If you can't be kind while we're live, get out. The mods will happily escort you out. but be kind. And what be kind means is we have a range of skill sets and experiences here tonight. We got folks that might be brand new. We got folks that are super seniors at big FANG companies. Help each other. When we're live coding, if I get stuck, help me. If somebody else is trying to follow along and they get stuck, help them. There's how many people we got here right now? That's a lot. Almost 1,500, I think. That's a lot of people. If you are following along, please, and you see a question that you know how to answer, help them. Be kind, rewind. Exactly, Maya Wolf. That's the whole name of the game tonight. And one thing I'll say, a big warning that I must warn you about for folks that are new to our community. I'm a baddie and I write bad code. I'm a baddie, I write bad code. We're trying to help folks that are at the very beginning. So we're going to be using some JavaScript. We're going to be writing some not TypeScript, not React, to help people that are maybe new to Appwrite, that are maybe new to building actual backends, because we want to bring everyone together. This is the first class. I'm going to do others that are bigger apps, that are things that are going to be integrated deep into 100 devs. And so you're going to see me, Tina, probably pop up every once in a while because it's going to be, it's going to be a little bit of a reaction there that we got to be careful about. Please don't be a turbo nerd. Help others, meet them where they're at, and we'll do a lot well. Cool. And if you're new to us, you're not alone. If you are on your learning journey and you want to join a community 70,000 plus strong on Discord, where we answer all your technical questions and help you get a job, you can always join us over on Discord. If you want to learn more about 100 devs, you can just do exclamation point 100 devs, do exclamation point Discord to join us. You're not alone. It's hard to go through this journey of kind of learning how to code, learning how to break into tech, and you got a whole wonderful community that wants to see you do it. So we're here for you. Should you need it, come say hello. Let's get it on. We're going to get into it. We're going to have some fun. Remember, that's the name of the game tonight, to learn a little bit, to have a little fun. Thank you, Appwrite. All right, first and foremost, before we jump right into it, just for folks that might be newer, we got to talk about how the internet works and like what the heck's going on. So for folks that have been through 100 devs, what the heck is the internet? It's a raffle. It's a series of tubes, a wire. Okay, a wire, a cable. There's some nerds going, ah. It's a series of tubes, wires. It helps connect devices. I see a network of computers. Ooh, I like that. What kind of devices we got out there on these interwebs? What kind of devices we got out here? we got some devices that are client-side devices, and we got some devices that are server-side devices. Client, server. So client-side devices, devices that we use to consume the interwebs. Think your phone, your laptop, whatever you're watching me on right now is your client-side device. And these devices can make requests out to server-side devices. They're just computers. And these servers can do a bunch of stuff. They have a bunch of code typically running on them that can listen for requests, generate responses. They can log you in. They can connect you to other pieces. They can send and store your stuff into a database. That being said, there's so much stuff running on this server. That's all this stuff you have to figure out how to do, to write, to optimize, to figure out how to, as people are trying to watch their cute cat memes. What does this thing do? How does it respond with those cute cat memes? How does it respond with all the wonderful things? How does it do all the heavy lifting that we ask things to do on the interwebs? Well, when you're first starting out to learn, it can be super complicated to figure out, all right, I'm writing client-side code stuff that runs on the devices that I use to consume, but then I also have to figure out how to write the code that runs on the server, right? And so on the client, we have things like HTML, CSS, JavaScript that you're worried about, but then you got to pick up something else to manage the backend. And it can often be a pretty steep learning curve, right? You have to Learn maybe a whole new language sometimes. Pick up Node if you're in the JavaScript world. You have to learn about all these different things, auths, how you talk to a database, what database you're going to use, all these things that make the learning curve of building full stack web applications pretty difficult. And it's worthwhile to go through that journey to learn these things. But early on, wouldn't it be magical if you could just take the stuff you knew about on the client side and start to build out pretty powerful backends? And so that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to build what would be like a traditional CRUD app. This is standing for create, read, update, delete, meaning that we're going to be able to kind of make the normal things that would happen on the server happen just from a regular JavaScript file. It's going to be pretty cool. And so for folks that have never heard of CRUD, think about any application that you've ever used. Think about Instagram. Hey, thank you for the gifted subs. Think about Instagram. What are you creating on Instagram? Like, what are you creating? A what? A post. So you type your post, that post gets sent to Instagram, and a lot of stuff has to happen with that post. Not only is that text you put in the post going to be stored in a database, there's also image uploading, right? You took the cute selfie before stream, right? Everybody's taking the selfie now, like, hey, look, we're live at Leon, what's up, right? And you're posting it, all right? You're making those posts. That text has to go somewhere into a database. That photo has to be uploaded somewhere, somehow, stored. You probably had to log in so you're not just posting random stuff by an anonymous person, right? There's a lot of stuff that had to happen for you to make that creation, that post. Now, what would be reading? Like, what are we doing to get? Like, how are we getting stuff on an app like Instagram? What are we typically doing? Cosmo, hey, thank you for the Prime. Yeah, we're opening the app, we're refreshing the page, we're scrolling through our feed, we're asking that server for stuff. We're saying, hey, send me those posts, send me that text, send me those photos. So we made a request and we're trying to get all this stuff back. And that has to come from somewhere. And we had to have written the code to make that happen. Right? Then what if we want to like something? We're liking the post, we're liking the tweet, we're liking the blue sky. What do you call it? I don't even know what we call them, but you're liking it, right? That's an update. That update has to go somewhere. It has to probably talk to the database. And then you know what? That one photo from 2 weekends ago, it wasn't a good time for you. You had to delete it. I understand, but you deleted it. That had to have something happen on the back end. That server had to hear that delete request. It had to go in and remove something from the database, hopefully delete the image from somewhere, right? Delay tang if you've been around the block a few times. And so all this stuff that we have to learn how to do and build, but enter Appwrite. It's going to do all this stuff for us in a lot easier, simplified way. You can build out your entire backend super quick. It scales wonderfully. And if you are in a program like 100 Devs and you're learning and you are newer to the game, you can take the code that you're already writing and build phenomenal apps. And so when Appwrite kind of mentioned the idea of wanting to sponsor, I was like, heck yes, this is a superpower, right? It's a superpower for our students, whether they are brand new, whether they've been coding for a while, that they can take the skills they already have and start building out something really robust. And then long term, we're building big open source applications at 100 Devs, working with hundreds, if not thousands of developers. We want a consistent system that we can use so that we all know how to build together a lot easier. All right. So what comes out the gate? You can get auth. So very easily adding auth to your applications. Any of the normal login methods you think of, you get with Appwrite. You want to do GitHub, Google, whatever it may be, you can do auth very easily with Appwrite. And you can think of other auth providers, other services. The fact that it comes together and you're able to use it with all these other features makes it really easy to integrate. So you get auth, you get databases. The really cool thing about the database that they use, it's called MariaDB. It's a relational database, but all the terms are similar to Mongo. And so if you come from like a NoSQL background, if you've done NoSQL with 100 devs, a lot of the initial terms will be very similar. So even though you get the power of a relational database behind, folks that are just kind of starting, right, that are just starting, get an easier experience. You get storage. If you've ever done storage, it can be pretty messy. You can use things like S3, you can use things like Cloudinary, but the storage that integrates with all these pieces together is really wonderful. Then you get all this other stuff, messages, function, real time, so many other things all in one platform. And so the beauty is that we can learn how to incorporate Appwrite into our projects. Whether you're starting out, whether you've been here for a while, we can use all this stuff together. We all know and using the same tools. So I'm really, really excited for what that's going to enable our community to do at scale. Now, the other thing, the reason why you know that we only introduce things that are free here, right? So not only does Appwrite have a generous free tier that we'll talk about, but it's open source, it's self-hostable, and it supports pretty much everything you want to write with. So whether you went off and started React, Vue, whether you want to integrate with Next.js, whatever you want to do, it's easy, and the docs are amazing. Tonight, we're just going to use the docs to get started. You're going to see how quickly you can go from spinning something up, following the docs, and doing something really fun. And so our app's going to be simple, but we're going to use a lot of these kind of early features and just start building out. And you can't forget about the cloud. And so the free tier is super generous. I think anything that you are building, personal projects, anything that you want to build, especially if you're coming out of 100 devs and you are building something for your portfolio, you are building something to show employers, hey, I can build, everything you need is there. But then they came through and they were like, hey, what if you want some of these pro features? And so Appwrite has splashed out $50 in free pro cloud credits just by following that link, !Appwrite. Nishant J10, thank you for the gifted subs. So I think it's a huge win. Not only are they sponsoring, not only are they giving such generous free tiers, not only are they giving us access to the pro tiers with free credit, they're also sending their developers into our community to help us build. So huge shout out to Appwrite. Thank you for sponsoring. Hopefully you all have a better understanding of like what we can use this for and what we can do. A little housekeeping is we're going to go for probably like 2.5 hours. We like to be healthy. We like to take our breaks at the top of the hour. So once about we're an hour in, we'll take a little bit of a 5-minute break and then we'll come back. We're going to create a hit list. So for folks that don't know what a hit list is, Google wouldn't let me send this file to myself because I think they think it's a bad word, but it's not. Our hit list is a process for how we go about getting jobs at 100 devs. We want to find companies with open positions that we can then network our way into, right? So the idea here is we find companies that are local to us. We add those companies to our hit list, and then we start to find individuals that work at those companies so that we can network our way in. We're not clickers. We don't click. We network our way in so we can get our resume in front of folks so that we can show and highlight the skills, the things that we're able to build. And that's how we've helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of folks get jobs as software engineers. Hey, thank you for the prime. All right. So we're going to build that tonight. It's going to be very kind of, we're going to build up from it. We're going to make sure that everyone can come along with us. We're going to keep track of all the things that we care about when it comes to networking. We're going to be able to delete companies. We want to delete them. We're going to be able to check whether or not we had a coffee chat with them. And so my goal is that by the end, you have a starter project that you can use that has the basic CRUD functionality. using Appwrite, you feel comfortable using the tool, you feel comfortable using the platform, it's something that you can continue to use in real life to make your life better. And then you can add the features that you want. Whenever we've introduced the hit list, we've tried different tools and there's always something missing. There's always, I want to track this, Leon. I want to add this bit of information. I want to say when I had that call, right? Like, so build it. You'll be able to build it. After today, you'll have the groundwork for a wonderful application that you can then continue to improve upon. And it's not going to be pretty. We're baddies. We write bad code. We're going to get something up and running, and then you can run with it. And then we're going to have a hackathon this weekend where you can continue to build even more dope stuff with the platform. And then we'll have another class later on where we'll show a bigger app that kind of shows all the bells and whistles too. Cool. You ready? All right, let's get into it. So we're going to need a couple things first. We're going to be using Vite to kind of set this up, and we're going to just create a very simple application, and then we will follow the docs to get everything up and running. So if you're new around here, we're going to use something called the terminal. We're going to put a few commands in here, and then we'll be writing code in VS Code. So I'm going to open up my terminal. I'm going to keep it very simple. And I am going to go to my desktop. And then once I am on my desktop, let me make it a little bit bigger so everybody can see. I'm going to CD into my 100 devs folder. I'm going to CD into my Appwrite folder. And then I am going to go ahead and do just npm create. It's going to ask some questions here. So I'm going to call this hit list. We're going to call this hit list demo. Beautiful. I'm going to say vanilla JavaScript. We're not going to do anything fancy tonight. Ugh. No TypeScript. Ugh. All right. So now we have it set up. We can CD into our hit list demo. And then once we're in here, we can install everything and then we can run dev. So I'm going to do npm install the whole way out. Ugh. And then while that's installing, we should be good. And then I'm just going to open it in VS Code. All right. I'm done with my terminal for now because I'm going to open my terminal in VS Code. And we'll do everything here. So if you're like panicking, I couldn't follow along, I didn't know how to use the terminal, that's okay. We will post all the code afterwards on Discord. So everything that we collectively build together tonight, I'll add for you. You don't have to be following along like fingers on keyboard if you don't want to. It's more about talking through, understanding what's going on, and then we'll go through there. So everything that you will need will be in Discord after the stream. So you'll have the code, you'll have the commands to get started. I made up a name. I called it hit list demo. I'm using vanilla, not TypeScript, just so more people can follow along. And then that's kind of it. I CD'd into the repo that I created, and then I opened it in VS Code. Cool. So we can do something called npm run dev, and that's just going to run our little local server here. All right. If we go to this URL here, Shay, thank you for the sub. If we open this URL here, just going to do a new tab here. I'm going to paste it in. We see like the starter code that comes with Vite. It has some fun stuff in there. We're not going to use any of this. We are going to use Appwrite and their wonderful docs to kind of get us started. So I'm going to go back, and the only thing I am going to do is open up this index.html. We're going to have the stuff that we need. Our JavaScript is already linked. And then I'm going to open up the source and go to our main.js. We're not going to use any of this main.js stuff. I'm probably just going to get rid of all these things that are here. We don't need it. So I'm going to save that, get rid of everything that's in there. I'm probably going to just leave the style import That way, if we want to style stuff later on, we can. And you'll notice that it is live reloading. We might get some wonkiness with Vite later on, but don't worry about that. So it's live reloading and all that fun stuff right out the box. All right. So what we want to build is this hit list application. And so what I'm going to do is show you the old school hit list that we used to use, and we could talk about how we're going to build it using Appwrite. So I'm going to go and pull up the old networking example sheet. And here's what it looked like. Ugh, oh gosh. Ugh, don't want to use the wonderful Excel sheet here. We want to build it. Somebody said totally lost. That's fine. It's fine. You don't have to code along. It's about the vibes. It's about understanding what we're doing. I don't want you panically typing along if you are newer to writing some JavaScript and to opening projects. This will be a VOD that is immediately available after the stream. So you can just go back and watch that opening part. Anything that you miss, you'll be able to go back through, and we'll put the whole thing on YouTube afterwards with some edits so that it's a little bit easier to get around. So don't panic. You're a good company. We know what it's like. Cool. So we were keeping track of some things here. Company name, when it was added, the role position, the location, the type of position it is, and maybe where we found it. I think this is a good place to start, right? If we can build this out, be able to enter them as we're actually going through building out our hit list, then maybe we can add some things like deleting them, maybe doing some things like keeping track of our coffee chats, and then that can become the base that we can then build off to add any feature that we might need to help us on our hit listing journey. For folks that go through 100 devs, hit list is where they spend a lot of their time. So being able to build your own features, your own customizations will be really helpful. And also keep in mind, this is for us to build an example of a project together in a short amount of time. We have some really big plans for some really big projects that we're going to build together, but we got to save those for some fun in the future. All right, so that's kind of what we're going to build. And I'm going to go to Appwrite. And in Appwrite, I can go to my console. And once I go to my console, I'm going to start setting up my backend. I am going to kind of split screen this for a second. I'm going to put this on the right, and I'm going to leave this up here on the left. And then that way we can kind of use this to help us build out what we're going to build out. So I am going to create a new project. See, I have a couple here because I'm not going to keep mine up live. We're going to do a couple of them here. So I'm just going to create a new project. I'm going to call this hit list demo. I'm going to just create the server that's available to me. And now it's being created. And I'm going to just build a simple web app. So web app for now, but you can see all the other things that you could use to build with it right off the gate. I'm going to say web. I'm going to name my web app. I'm going to call it hit list. And then we are going to say localhost. And that's it. Now they're going to start giving us commands that we can use to help us set up our project. And so one of the things that we're going to want here is to install Appwrite. We can do that directly in our terminal. So we can copy that if we want. Just go back real quick. I'm going to chill this server, just doing the little Control-C, put it in, let it do its thing, and then I can start my server again. Cool. Everything looks good. We're on a good spot. What I really like is that as we're walking through, it's really handheldy. You can't mess this up if you're building out a very simple project and a very simple database with Appwrite, because they slowly just give you the code you need, get started as you're going through. Is this recorded? Absolutely. Yep, it's a VOD. I can mess up anything, trust me. That's hilarious. All right, let's go next here. And they're going to give us some initialized pieces here. I'm going to not use this because I'm going to actually use their really good docs for setting everything up. So we can grab this if we want. We can add it to our code, but we're probably going to change a little bit of what we use here. All right, so go next, and then I'm going to go to the dashboard. So now I have the project set up. What I want to do is, now that I have the project set up, is I want to build a database. The main feature that we're going to be using with Appwrite today is their database feature. We're going to be able to store documents, like the actual jobs that we're finding, update them, delete them. And so instead of building an app that maybe just an app that when you refresh would all go away, or maybe using local or session storage, that can be a problem. What if we want to have this stored? We can come back to it whenever we want. We don't have to worry about any cache or anything clearing. And then we can extend and build on top of it. We could build a mobile app with it. Our backend is our backend, and it's open to all these different SDKs. So the world is yours once you have it on the platform. Cool. So there's no databases. I'm going to create a database. You click database, create database. Love it. Super easy to follow along. You do what you want to do. I'm going to name it. Recall this is our hit list. So these will be our database. I'm just going to call it hit list just to be consistent. I'm a baddie writing bad names. And then if you're familiar with MongoDB, you're going to see that we have collections. If you're coming from a more relational database, you're going to use other terminology, but our collections are going to be, for us, our jobs. And so we're going to have a collection of jobs. So we'll create a collection, and we'll call this jobs. We'll create it. And so now we have jobs. We have a collection. This is where all of our jobs will go. And we have to do a few things. We have to start setting up what a job will look like. So what will each job that goes into our database will have, what we keep track of. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab each one of these in the first row of our old hit list and add them as attributes into the jobs collection. The way I'm crying that I built this from scratch. Deshaun J, hey, thank you for the sub and for the gift that's earlier. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. And so you're going to start hearing a lot of like other words. Is like a schema? Yeah. Like anything that you kind of have some familiar experience with, this is kind of what we're doing. We're just going to build out the shape of our database. As you know, I like to be a baddie, write bad code, but I also don't like using big words that I'm going to treat as disrespect. I'm treating folks as though they've maybe never set up a database before. So we're just going to kind of keep it to simple terms, and then we'll build on it later. Cool. All right. So I know I want to put jobs into this database, and I want to figure out what those jobs are going to look like. So I want to create attributes. And so I'm going to create some attributes here. And the first attribute I'm going to make is a company name. So I'm going to make a string. And I'm going to use hyphens here just so that we have some contrast when we're building out the application. We'll know that our attributes have the hyphens. We might not use them elsewhere. So company name, I'm going to set size just 100 as a default for all of these. I'm going to make it required. And so now we have a company name attribute for any job that goes into our database. So every job we put in this database will be required to have a company name. We're going to do a date added, but instead of using a string, we have this date time option. So I'm going to use date time, and we're just going to call this date added. Like when did we add it to the spreadsheet? Date added. We'll make it required, and we'll create. Then we will go ahead and let's the next one here. We got role. Let's create another string. This one we'll just call role. Default size, make it required. Let's see what else we got here. We got location. So we'll add a location. Again, another string. Boom, boom, boom. Required, create, love it. And then we got one or two more here. Type of position. We have like permanent. Maybe we can eventually make these like toggle or something, but for now we'll just make it a string, just make it easier for ourselves. And so we'll call this type of position type. Position type. Cool. Drip. Hey, thank you for the sub. Required and create. And then we'll do source. And what should we make source? What should source be? Yeah, URL. So we do have a URL option here. Boom, URL. We'll just call this, I don't call it URL just to be fun, so we can tell difference in our code. We'll call it source. And default value is fine. We don't need it. It'll just be null. And then create. Cool. So we have company name. We have date added. We have role. We have location. We have type of position. And we have the source. Cool to me. Now, any document or job that we add will have all of those attributes. So we've already kind of modeled out what our whole database will look like in what, 5 minutes, not even, which kind of blows my mind and is super fun to be able to just do it very quickly, very easily, think through what you want. And this is what I mean. If you're somebody that's new to writing code in terms of the back end, you can just, oh, what do I want to do? Here are the things, boom, add it, and you're ready to start trying to connect to it. And so the other thing I really love about Appwrite is that they have really good docs, some of the best docs in the game. So I can go to docs and they have all this stuff, quick starts, tutorials, any SDK that you could possibly want, basically like the tools and example code to use any of the technologies that you want. And then we're doing something with the database. So we just go to database here and they have a quick start. So we can just kind of look at this quick start. And so this quick start is going to give us everything that we would need to kind of get started with our very simple application. So I'm going to copy it and I am going to go back to my code and I will paste it all in. Beautiful. I had grabbed that originally up here. So we will yoink this project because we know that that's ours, our project ID. Boop. Lovely. I'm going to delete this because we don't need the redundant one from when we were first setting up. And so now I'm just following the docs here. We're going to need that lovely database ID, a collection ID. And so the fun thing about Appwrite is just as you're like using the application, here is the collection ID. And here is our lovely database ID. So we can go ahead and grab that. Go back to the code. Boom. Go back to the collection that we care about, which is jobs. Grab that. Boom. Go back to our code. This is so smooth. I know, it's so much fun. All right. There we go. And what we're going to do is, if you notice, it says create document. What do you think this is going to do right here? What do you think it's going to do? Create a new document in the database. It's going to add that new job. Cool. Now, the problem here is that this isn't how our database is set up, right? We've added some attributes already. And so let's go ahead and move this over to the left here. And we're going to see our attributes here. So I want to make sure that our attributes are here in the document that we're creating. So it's not going to be title for our first one. Unfortunately, Hamlet, both myself and mine will have a deep affinity for Hamlet. I'll just say that. Company name. And what's an example? I don't know, 100 devs. Okay. It's MariaDB underneath the skin, Jasper. Yeah. All right, let's do a comma here. And then let's do our next one. So date added, and date added has to be a date type. So we're not going to do a string here. We're just going to do new and then date. Cool. And then we're going to do role. And then the role will be software engineer, because that's what we fucking are. Software engineers. We'll do location and go birds. So Philly. We'll do position type. And this will be, let's say, full time, because that's how I roll. I'll just do it. String here. And then source. And we'll do HTTPS 100devs.org. Cool. So now we have everything we would need to create a document in our database. We've kind of followed the attributes here as they lay. I'm going to just bring this back to full size so we can see it. Now, what we would expect is if we run this, we should expect that we see a response in our terminal, right? We see a response in our terminal, and then we should expect to see a document in that collection of jobs. So we're going to save it. We're going to go back to our browser, and we're going to see if we refresh, we might have a little error here. Let's check our console. We got a little error here. User is not authorized to perform the requested action. See that above my head? That means because we haven't set up permissions. And so we have to set permissions on that collection. So we're going to go to settings, and we're going to go to permissions. So you always have to set up your permissions or else it's not going to work. So we can go ahead and set up permissions. I'm going to say any, boom, 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 and then update. Let's come back here and give this a refresh. And what we'll see, hey, with the hydration clouds, thank you. Hold on now. It works. You can see that we got the response back, right? Beautiful. Response back. If we go and look at our documents, boom, there we go. 100 devs, software engineer, Philly, full-time, 100devs.org. When it was added, first try. Let's go. That was like, how quick was that? How quick was that? What is going on? What's going on? What? 10 minutes? 15 minutes from beginning to end, ready to rock and roll? First try? Oh, it doesn't say it out loud. Oh no. Thank you for redeeming the sound. I'll say it again for you. First try. Let's go. So now, right off the rip, you got persistent data, right? Of course, we need to build a form, put in our own data, and then have it be stored in Appwrite. All right, that's what we need to do. But from 0 to stuff in a database, that quick? Get out of town. All right. We're at the top of the hour, folks. If you know anything about us, we like to stay healthy. That means we take a break at the top of every hour. We're going to, if you're able, get up, move around, hydrate, let your fingers relax a little bit, get a little stretch in. We come back, we're building out the form. We are getting data sent into the database. We are then going to be able to delete it, update it, all that fun stuff. We're writing vanilla JavaScript. It's going to be a little painful. I don't really do that much, but we're going to get it going. And then you're going to be able to use this going forward. Okay? So we're going to put a 5-minute timer on the clock here. I'm going to run ads because at the top of the hour, that way anybody that joins us doesn't have to sit through ads. 5 minutes on the clock, folks. You know how we do. Come back ready to rock and roll. We're writing some more code. See y'all soon. Alrighty, y'all. Come on in. Leon's locked in. Let's go. Let's go. So while we were on break, I did a little switcheroo. Just because I didn't want my keys to be revealed as we move along the project. So you're going to notice just a slight addition to my code here. That's going to look a little bit different than yours, a little bit different than the. Oh, I forgot to turn this off. Than what we had. So it's the same stuff that we had before. I am just going to use a variable for my client, and then like for that project ID, and then a variable for my database and collection ID. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Dennis. I appreciate it. Cool. So I'm just going to chill this server here, put it down, and then I'm going to, I already have my project ID in. I want to make sure I have my database ID. Cool. And my collection ID. You will just have the raw numbers in there. Yours will look like normal. Cool. I think that should be fine. I'm going to open this in the browser and see if we have something running. I'm going to come over here. All right. I'm going to look in our inspector. All right. Current user is not authorized to perform the requested action. So how do we fix that problem, folks? Well, I also don't, I did have them in quotes still. And I'm going to do one big Leon real quick, because when you do touch it, it does reveal for a second. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that while you're not on the screen. And then, yes, you're right. We got to go to permissions. All right. Cool. We got to go change those permissions. Let's go to our settings. We don't have any permissions. Start to any. Boom, 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 boom. Update. All right. So now we should be able to go back to our app. Do a good old refresh, and we see it's working. Let's go check our documents, and we have our first document going in here. Let's see, let's refresh. This might be for my old one. Let me restart my server here. There we go. And I'm going to refresh it again. We see something come through. All right, it added. Let's refresh again. It added. Let's go ahead and refresh on this end. And you can see we added the 200 devs ones. With each of those refreshes, it's adding. Same app, nothing's changing here. Just that we have the slightly new project so that I don't have my stuff revealed. Cool. The interesting thing is just right in here, you can do whatever the heck you want. I can get rid of this Bob's Burgers. I can delete it. Cool. I can delete my double refresh here if I want to delete one of these. Boom. Awesome. So we have full control over the database. Is fine, right? I'm missing the project ID and database ID on my end. When you go to your project listing, right at the top of the project will be the project ID. When you click and create your first database, they'll give you the database ID right at top. And then when you click through and create your first collection, the collection ID will be right there. You just copy those 3 things and plug them in. All right, what I want to be able to do is to not have these hard coded. I want to be able to like fill out a form, right? I want to be able to fill out a form and have all those items go in to our database, right? Put it into a database, right? That's what I want to do. Cool. Create a form. Yeah, so let's just create a very, very simple form. We don't need any of this other stuff here except for linking to the module. I'm going to make this full screen so that we can see all the code. All right. Now, what did we say before? we want to be able to make input for each one of our things that we see in the database. We're going to be super quick. We're trying to go as fast as possible through this, right? We want to just be able to go from 0 to having a functional database, a full app here. So we're just going to go ahead and put a bunch of inputs. We can do like the Emmet skip 5 thing, but for folks that don't know what that is, I'm not going to do it. All right, I don't even know how many we have. Let's go back and check our attributes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 6, and we're going to probably need some like different types, and we're also going to need names to connect these. Cool. Maybe I know it's a little bit smaller. So if you need me to make it bigger, let me know. But I think for right now, maybe side by side would be a little bit easier as we do these forms. All right, so I'm just going to keep the names the same. So company name. So the way we connect our form, right? The way we connect our form to the JavaScript, like the JavaScript being able to grab it, we're going to use the name for that. We don't even need the IDs, honestly. Maybe later, should probably add them, but who cares? All right, I'm a baddie, I'm writing back code. All right, we're gonna do a name for company name. We're gonna need a date added, but date added should probably be what? What should I probably change about it? Yeah, I feel the same way, John. This feels really dirty. It feels really dirty, but that's okay. And then we need a name on position type. People are just clicking through like, what the heck is going on? And then we need one more input, and that'll be our source. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we'll just call this name equals. We'll call it source. Maybe I should make them a little more funky so we can see the difference. Yeah, I'm going to name them a little bit different. I think that's going to be helpful for folks that are newer to grabbing stuff with JavaScript. We'll do that. Cool. So now we have all of our inputs. Oh, I just kept it. I just kept it. I forgot to switch. I forgot to switch. You're just looking at Tina. Oh, that's great. Oh, too much booty shaking. Sorry, Roxy. The Leon remaining big Leon needs to be on the bingo card. Oh, is the bingo card still active? That was on there for a while. All right. I just switched them up because I want folks to be able to see like what's database, what's coming from the form. Stern, thank you for the sub. So we got the input company name, we got date, which is a date type. We have role, which is text. We got location, which is text. We got position type, which is text, and we got source, which is text. I think some things I want to do here is maybe also give them placeholders just so we can see them, because I think that'll be a little bit harder if we don't have the placeholder. So we'll just say company name. We'll do placeholder here, and we'll do, this will be date, placeholder here, and this will be role. And that placeholder is going to enable us to see them. This is not accessible by any means. We only got so much time to get through it all. We'll clean it up later. And then placeholder for, I know not having Copilot on is wild. Position type, and then we'll have our source, which will just have a placeholder for URL. Awesome. So we should have a form now. Let's come back to our little app here. And yeah, we can see the form. We have a little form here. Company name, date, role, location, position type, and URL. Everything should be there. I don't think we really need too much more here, except for a submit button. Yeah. And so we'll just do input. We'll do type, submit. Cool. And that should be fine. I'll give this an ID just in case. Awesome. I think we have everything we need here. We got a nice little form going. We're gonna be able to put everything we want into this form, and then we just want it to be able to go into the database. Now, when we are building out the next bit, we're just gonna be writing some regular vanilla JavaScript. Role doesn't have a name. Let's see. Beautiful. Good catch. I love mob programming. I've missed this. All right. We have everything there that we need to be able to start grabbing. We're going to write some JavaScript to then kind of just create and add a job to our collection. So let's come back here. Let's just create a simple click event here, or submit event. So we're going to get our actual form. And we'll do document.query selector, and we'll say form. There we go. Awesome. That's for the code weenies. You can leave the date input off. Ooh, interesting. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and then do our event. So an event is when people fill out that form. We need to fire off some sort of event that's going to happen. So we need to add our event listener. So form, add event listener. It's going to be a submit. And when we submit it, we're going to just have a function called add job. Cool. I think this is fine. We're going to go back to full screen with this, just so we can see everything. All right. The idea would be here, they submit the form. It calls a function called add job. And so now we need that function. The Smurfs, exactly. The Smurfs. All right. I love just like normies finding us, I mean, like, what the heck's going on? All right, so we're gonna create a function here. We're just gonna call it add job. This is so weird. And inside of it, we'll worry about async stuff first a little bit later. We need to prevent that default behavior of the form. What's the default behavior of the form? It's gonna refresh. We don't want it to refresh. We want to stay on our lovely hit list app. We'll do a prevent default. Cool. That prevent default will stop the page from resubmitting. All right. Now we need to create a job. The cool thing is that this is already set up as a promise, right? This is already set up as a promise. So we can just make this like an async function. and then await the adding of the document to our collection, and then just do whatever we want to do, right? But for that hop, skip, and a jump, for folks that don't know what I'm talking about, we'll just put this in here for now. Hold on, we'll just grab this, put it in, and then we can handle the other stuff later. I'm going to copy this again, just from the docs, not doing anything wild here. Awesome. And now what we can do is we can, instead of having these kind of hard coded, we can just go ahead and grab the stuff from the form. Okay. All right. So target. I'm just going to do it inline. I would set up like variables and all that crap later, but for now, we're bad writing bad code. Dot value. I think that's what we did. So we double check everything that we had. Yep. Company name. I'm doing camel case here for all of these. Dope. All right. Date added. We'll grab this. We'll do a date. Dot value. And this is pulling from that form, and it's grabbing them based off of the name property on the form. Role dot value. Location. Boom, boom, boom. Dot location dot value. And then same thing for position type. We did that camel case. Cool. Dot value. And then source should be the same thing. And did I call it source? What did I put in the name there? Put source in the name there. Cool. All right. So. So now we have the preventing a default of the form so it won't refresh on us. We're going to go ahead and create that document. And then we should probably, once we're done creating the document, we're going to eventually want to show it. But for now, I don't think we need to do anything. I'm just going to reset the form. Cool. I just want to see if it's making it to Appwrite. So we're saved. Let's go back. Let's see if we have any errors. I'm just going to refresh real quick. That's going to probably add another like random 100 devs in here. Let's refresh, see if that's there. We've probably got a couple there. Awesome. Let's try it out. Company name, Bob's Burgers. Date is today. Role, software engineer. Location. Where's Bob Burgers located? Do you know where they're actually located? Not sure. Cleveland? Yeah. We'll say New Jersey. Position type. Let's see. Full time. And we're going to get an error. We're playing along. Come on now. HTTPS. And we'll say bobs.com. All right. Hit submit. Let's see if anything happened. All right. We got another 100 devs, but we see some stuff happening here. Oh, this is the old one. We don't need this up anymore. I'm going to close this. We don't see anything happen here. What do we got to do? Fictional town called Seymour's Bay. Okay, there we go. So do we even need this promise piece here? We could save it. We're building the POS system for Bob's Burgers. Exactly. All right, let's save it. We had down here where we kind of like return the promise. Ooh. All right. And so let's just see if we're actually doing something with it. And then we'll clean it up. I'm trying to stay close to the docs just so people can see, and then we'll expand. All right. So we should console log it, see if anything happens. All right. I'm just going to restart my server too, just to get in there. Go back to our app. Let's refresh. See if we get another one of the refreshes. Nope, because we should have commented it out. Awesome. And let's go ahead and put something in here. Bob's today. Boom. Role. Software engineer. Location. Was it Seymour? Bay. Full time. And HTTPS. Bob's.com. And submit. All right. So we got something back. We can see the refresh, right? We can see the refresh. And we saw that we got the response back. We got the response. So that means we should also be able to go here, refresh, and we got Bob's. Cool. So now we are officially adding to our database. We have a form that we can plug anything into, and it goes into a database. We didn't write anything other than just regular JavaScript. We didn't do anything other than regular JavaScript. What? This is the coolest thing to be ever. I'm sorry. This is dope. Magic said that was so much easier than the projects I've done. Exactly. Exactly. And so we're going to clean this up. We're going to do a lot of other stuff with it, but already, this is the moment new devs should be hooked. Exactly. We just followed the docs. We didn't do anything wild. We followed the docs, and we got stuff going into a database that will be persistent. We can even go, we can even go into the database, right? We can even go into the database and like start deleting stuff, and like you have full control over it. You can add more attributes. Like, this blows my mind. I would have killed for something like this when I was first starting out, to be able to, like, in just a few minutes, be able to have like really powerful application. Cool. So now we need to be able to start, like, I don't know, seeing them. So we want to make sure that we can like actually add the job, right? So we're going to go and we're going to make a function to add what we have saved in the database to our application. But I just want to take a moment to be like, this is dope. Like, this is so cool. All right. So let's go ahead and we're gonna need a place to put stuff. Go to our HTML. We're probably gonna need like a UL or something. It's gonna be real dirty. I will do a UL, and in this UL, I want to be able to get every single job that we put into our database. And so they'll all just go into the UL. We'll just add a bunch of LIs, and we don't need anything else more fancy than that. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a function, and I'm going to call it add jobs to DOM. Cool. All right, so we're gonna have a function called add jobs to DOM. We'll worry about we'll probably have to clean up the URLs and stuff like that down the line, but we just need to be able to get stuff from our database. So I need to know how to get something from the database. Where do you think I'm going to go? The docs. Cool. So the cool thing is the database docs. Yeah, we had that quick starter to get us off the ground. We go to the database, and then there's all this stuff that we could possibly need about a database. And so we have the different pieces here where we can grab what we might need. They talk you through collections. They talk you through documents. We're already doing the create document piece here, right? But now we need to list all the documents. We need to get them all. We need to do that read operation. And so we see right here, oh, list documents. Boom. We can just grab that and list them all. It's right it's right there. Oh my God, this is so cool. It's just right there. And we can just go ahead and grab this, right? Just go ahead and grab it. That's all you got to do. We can even just grab the whole thing and just console log it at first before we start chopping it up. And I'm intentionally kind of doing this exactly how they have it, right? So that you can just start there and then chop it up. Cool. All right. So we can plug in our database ID and our collection ID. And there we go. All right. You're going to have to plug yours in from Appwrite. I have mine as a variable right now. And I don't need the query title thing, so I'm just going to get rid of that too. And let's just see what happens here. Let's see what we get if we call the add jobs to DOM function. Cool. I'm just going to restart my server, come back here. I'm going to refresh, and boom, we can see we get the we get this lovely response here, and we can see that it has all of our documents that are coming from our database. If we look, we have 5 documents total in our database, and we can see that we're getting 5 documents spit out here in the console. So now all we got to do is take those documents and add them to the DOM. And so I'm just going to create LIs and add them to the DOM with the LIs. And so let's go back to our code. I'm going to change this from promise to response. I just like the word response here better. Response. I'm going to comment this out for now. And so we know that we're going to get a response from the database, and then we just need to do something with that response. So I am going to console log it, and we're going to go from there. Now, since I know this is a promise, I want to turn this into an async function. Async, I'm going to await it. And then that way I can wait for that response. And then once I get it, let's console log it. Cool. Make sure that's still working. A console log is just printing in the console, which I'll show you in a second for JavaScript. Cool. Alrighty. Should be in a good spot. All right. And we can still see that we're still getting our documents. So we're nice and clean. And so now we know we can do something with that response. I just want to see if I can get one of those documents. So I'm just going to do response.documents. I think it's an S, and then I'm going to do my square brackets 0. Cool. Just to see if I can grab one, because if I can grab one, then I can do something with all of them. All right, let's go back. Let's refresh. I'm gonna actually, I think my V kind of starts getting a little weird with the async stuff. So I'm gonna make everybody mad by doing this, but it's okay. All right. And I am getting one. Look, I'm getting just one of the actual documents that has everything that we see in our database. So if I can get one, I can get them all. All right, let's get them all. Cool. I'm just going to console. I'm going to comment this out for right now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a for loop through each of the documents. Cool. Time to loop me up. Response dot documents, because documents is holding that actual array. We'll do a for each. And inside that for each, we're going to do some stuff. So each one of these will be a job, right? Each one of these will be a job. And we want to grab each one of those jobs, create an LI, add the content, and then append it to the UL. I think we do that, we'll be fine. So const li equals, and we're just going to create it. Document dot create element, and we're just going to say create an li. Cool. Now we've created the li. We got to put the stuff into the li, and so we'll do li text content, and we can just try testing a little bit of this first. And so I'm just going to do a template literal here, and we'll just grab something from the job. So job dot, we know company, maybe company name, but let's take a look at the browser real quick. It's going to be using the values from our database. So remember, in our database, in our attributes, we did them hyphenated. So we got to do hyphenated here because we're not grabbing them from the form. We're actually grabbing them from the actual database. And so that's kind of why I did the differentiation there, so you can see as we're going along. So this will be company hyphen name. Cool. And I think we'll be able to kind of go through and do each of these. Now, the other thing about JavaScript, though, is we can't use dot notation here. We have to use the object syntax here. So it's the same thing as dot notation, right? So instead of doing dot company name, since we have the hyphen, we can just put the value there. It's the same thing as grabbing the value out of the object. All right, company name. We have our li, and then all I want to do is append that li to the UL. So we'll just go ahead and grab our UL. Query selector, cry about it. And then we'll do append child. And we'll append li. Cool. Square boys. I need a break. I'll be back. We'll take a break at the top of the hour together in about 15 minutes. All right. So we should be able to get a response, create an li, put the company name in the li, append it to the UL, and I think we'll be in a good spot here. All right, let's save it. Saved. I'm gonna chill my server. Go back. All right. And there we go. Look at that. I know it's a little weird to see over on the side, but we're looking right here, folks. Look, we got 100 devs, 100 devs, 100 devs, and then Bob's. So all 5 of the company names that are in our DB are there. First try. Thank you, Jonas. 21. All right, cool. This is the best feeling. I think so too. That's why I love building with Appwrite. It's so simple. All right. So we got them in there. So now I'm going to be like a real each of the different pieces in here. So date add it. we're just gonna make a big ass string. Cool. All right, cool. We'll do job, and then we'll do which one? We'll date added, and then role, and then I might have to look at the form. Role, location, position type. Awesome. Job, location, and then we'll do job, and then we'll do position type. And then one last one here. Whoop. That's the sound of the police. All right, job. And then position type. What was the last one? Source. Awesome. All right. I think we got everything here. Let's save it. Go back. Let's refresh. Let's go. Let's go. All right. We're goody. All right. So we got everything in here. Looks atrocious, but it's there. It looks beautiful. It's there. We're in a good spot here. First try. All right. So we can now let's try adding something new. Because right now it's also not gonna add on submission, right? We don't have anything that's telling it to add after each submission. So like if we do something right here, like company name, if we do like Bob's Burgers, because there's only Bob's in there right now. We do role, software engineer, location. Let's say they open up a new location in Boston. I almost said Beantown. Oh my God. What am I doing with myself? HTTPS. And we'll do, I don't know, bobsboston.com. And we submit it. We can see that we submitted it, but there's nothing forcing the page refresh. And this is just where it just feels so yucky, not being in React land and stuff like that. But it works. When I refresh, boom, there we go. Thank you, Tessa. I'll drop the link in the follow-up too. I think I might have auto modded it. The mod could drop the link. That'd be cool. Cool. So it's there. We just got to get it to like actually put it in there each time we add a job. So let's be baddies and write some atrocious code. All right. What can we do so that when we add the job, what should we do? We probably shouldn't be doing this like promise stuff here, right? All right. We could just remove, that's like wild level. Could do the prevent default. Let's see. Boop. Boop. That's hilarious. I don't. That's so funny. All right, let's refresh. We're good. Flim Flam Corp. Gotta respect the name. Role. Full time. That's all we do. Chili Philly. Oh, sorry, software engineer. Yeah, you gonna type this out the whole time? Yes, I am. Cool. And then HTTPS flim lam.co. Cool. Now, so here's the problem with removing the prevent default. What happened? What happened? Still worked, whole page refresh, but did we have enough time to await the request. Now refresh before submission. So it refreshed before any data was sent. So that was a brilliant thought, but not, I think, what's going to help us here. So all we have to do is just, instead of doing this like actual console logging here, we can just await the response, like await the creation of the job. And then once it's done, we can just call our add to job function, or add, I think we call it add to DOM. That's all I'm going to do. And so if you're familiar with any type of promise, what's the keyword you might remember? I'm going to call this, it is a promise. I'm going to call it job, because these are the jobs that we're actually creating, not hob, job. What's the keyword that comes to mind when you think of promise? When you've done maybe your kind of your fetches or things like that. We have the await. We want to do something then, yeah. So we can do it like a really like simple way is, see down here, we had the promise already. So we're just going to do job. I'm changing it from promise to job. And then in this function, we have like our error response and stuff like that. But instead of console logging, what could we do? Yeah. We could do the try catch blocks, but we're vibing. What are we going to call? What are we going to run? Yeah, just call the function. Let's just do it dirty. Add jobs to DOM. Cool. There we go. We add the job. Cool. All right, let's see where we're at. All right, let's do a flam. Boop. Role. Software engineer. Location. Chili Philly. Position type full-time. URL https flim.co. All right. And there we go. Flim is there. We called our lovely function. We didn't await it though, but it did trigger the function. If we refresh, there we go. We got our flim in there, fully time. Cool. Remember, the other flim never made it there. Uploaded everything. Cool. All right, let's take a look, see where we're at. We have the ability to add stuff to the form. We have the ability to display stuff from the form. Let's take a look. Let's do one more refresh here. Do a different name. Tina's, what would Tina serve? Not Bob's Burger. What would Tina serve? Tina's Tacos. Cool. Role software engineer. Cool. Location by the beach. Position type full-time. And HTTPS tinatacos.com. Cool. Down here we see Tina Tacos full-time. Wonderful. We now have the ability to add stuff to the database and have that stuff show up in the DOM with just JavaScript. Why is it showing duplicates? What an interesting problem to solve when we come back from our top of the hour break. When we come back from our top of the hour break, we're going to refresh the UL so that it doesn't just keep appending, right? And then what are some features that we should add? We got about half an hour that will probably go a bit more after the break. What do you want to add? Deleting, we can add deleting. And then I want to add like whether or not I had a coffee chat. So we'll do deletion and then like whether or not I did a coffee chat. And I think we'll be in a really good spot. So we'll fix the duplication. We'll add some delaying, and then we'll add like whether or not we had a coffee chat with that company yet. And then I think we're in a really good spot to kind of keep pushing. So let's go ahead and take our top of the hour break. I'm going to put 5 minutes up on the clock. We're going to run the ads. When we come back, we'll do some raffles. We got some more stuff coming up. We got the Mac Mini at the end. We're going to go for maybe about another 30, 45-ish minutes after the break. And then we'll call it for this evening. All right, folks, I'm having so much fun. This is dope. You could go from just basic JavaScript to having a full database, putting stuff into the database, pulling stuff out, putting it to the top. What's going on? All right, see y'all in 5 minutes. Alrighty. Need the YouTube link for this song? We got you. Our very own creating the music. I love it. Appwrite.io/Discord. That should be it. For folks that want, let me type it in here. Let me see if we can type it over here. Get an auto modded myself. Oh, here we go. I think that'll stay up. For folks that want to jump in the Appwrite's Discord community, get your questions answered, hear all the fun stuff. There we go. All right. We're back. We're back and we're back and we're back. All right. Let's do a raffle real quick as everybody gets back. And then after the raffle, we'll add some delaying and we got some time, some coffee chat updating, and we'll call it a day. So let me go ahead and open up the next raffle here. We still got the Mac Mini raffle coming up, which is going to be wild. Complete the last one. Sorry, I didn't click complete on that one. And I'm going to open up a new one. Give me a second here. All right, it is open. Exclamation point raffle. Exclamation point raffle. Now open. I'm going to give it a good 45 seconds here. And then we'll be back on our way. Alrighty. Boom. Come on now. Exclamation point raffle to get in. I see them coming in. Good to see you all. All right. I'm going to close it in 15 seconds here. All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Closing it. Picking a winner. what we got here. Aaron Boyd 47. Congrats on the win. Going to complete it. And we will get a whisper your way after stream so you know how to redeem, my friend. Send them anywhere in the world, folks. Anywhere in the world. Mr. Worldwide over here. All right, let's get back into it. Get a nerdy 30 in for sure, folks. Nerdy 30. All right, we got stuff adding to a database. We got stuff reading from a database. We're creating, we're reading. We got to get some of that delaying happening here. And so the first thing I want to do is just add a delete button so that like it shows up next to each one of these. But we also have to clean up that UL nonsense. So what can we just do if we're being baddies writing bad code and we want to clean up this UL each time? Just nuke the parent element. Exactly. Alrighty, let's do it. Boom, there we go. Now we're just gonna put nothing in the UL each time. We should be good with that. Let's go back. Boom. Let's add a talk flim today. Role QA location Philly full time https flim.co. All right. There we go. We got flim showing in. We're not repeating each time. We're in a good spot. Awesome. We're almost done. This Appwrite tech is amazing. I agree. Exclamation point Appwrite in chat, folks, if you want to sign up. Cool. All right, let's just add a delete button to our LI before we append it to the UL. So I'm just going to go ahead and create just a button. So const delete equals, and then we'll just do document create element. And it'll be a button. Cool. So we got this delete button. Now we create it. We have to like give it some text, just like we gave the LI some text. Delete button equals, and maybe just do like people are gonna get mad, but an emoji. There we go. Boom. We'll clean it up later, and we gotta do text content. Just like we did text content with the LI. Cool. So now it'll be a firecracker emoji. I'm gonna put a little space here in our string. Oh my gosh. And then now we have the delete button. We have it has the firecracker. Since it's gonna be a button, we got to give it an event handler. Delete button on click equals, and then we're going to just create like a function. Let's do a arrow function here. And it should just call a function like their job. So we'll call it remove jobs. Remove job. Now, how does it know what job to remove? Each one of these documents, if we go and look at Appwrite, has a document ID. And so we can grab that document ID. I would show you the console log, but I think that might leak something. But it's there with each of the requests that we've made. And we can, luck of the draw, which one it removes, just randomize it. We could just grab that job ID or that ID for each of the jobs and pass it to our function that's removing. So we're still in job, and then so a property on job will be this bling ID. And so just like we had a company name, a date added property, there's also this ID property that we can grab. I kind of want to do the chaos delete though. That sounds really fun. I might add that. Imagine I post the code to GitHub and share it on Discord after, but it has like all like chaos. That's cool. All right, so now we can pass the ID of the actual thing that we want to remove. Remember, we want to remove it from the database, so we can pass this. Now we just have to create a function called remove job. All right, function remove job, and it's going to take in that ID. Cool. Now, since we want to delete something and we're using Appwrite, what do I want to do? Where do I got to go to figure out how to delete something? To the docs. Exactly. All right, to the docs. Let's look at the docs here. So we're already in the documents area. We saw listing documents. We saw creating documents. And so hopefully we can see in the docs like removing or deleting a document. So I'm going to say delete and maybe document, database, delete document. Here we go. And if we go down, we got some lovely code for listing, creating. This is the whole, I guess this is everything they have for databasing. We're seeing all the stuff that we were looking at before. And then we have get, update, and we have delete. So we can just yoink this. We know we need that. Cool. I think we need anything else there. Go back to the code. Let's plop it in. And we're going to put in our database ID. And we're going to put in our collection ID. And the document ID, we actually passed along when we called our function. We're passing that document ID along with the remove job function. I have not yet added this button to the LI though. So let me do that real quick. So we just need to add it to the LI so that we can then add it to the UL. So li.append child, and we'll just append delete button. So now the LI has the delete button. Cool. When we click on that delete button, we'll pass the ID in. If this works, it should go ahead and remove that from our database. Cool. We're also going to need to maybe remove that one from the DOM at the same time, right? So we could refresh and be okay, but what if we wanted to actually like delete it? We could maybe give the LIs like an actual ID. Let's see if it, let's do that. Yeah, we can do it. Let's do it. So it's pretty easy, right? We can just do li.id and set it equal to the same thing we have down here. So we're basically going to give each LI an ID property that's equal to the document ID. Cool. So now each one has an ID that has a document ID. And so that down here, even though it's a little sketch, we can do our document dot get element by ID. Yeah. And in here, we can just grab ID and remove. I think that might work. Cool. And we're eventually probably going to want to make all these things async, but let's see where we're at. All right, chill it. Go back, refresh our app. Oop, got a little syntax error. Line 60. I do something wrong here. Result. Oh, I have the await. Whoop. Sorry. Boom. All right. All right. They all had the firecrackers. They all had the firecrackers. Oh, that's funny. Let's see. Thank you, mods. All right, we got the firecrackers. First to go has to be Flimco. Let's see if anything happens here. Woo! All right. Flim is gone. What if we refresh? Flim is still gone. Let's take our attributes here. Let's take a look. Sorry, look at our documents here. We have all these extra 100 devs. Let's see if we can clean that up. 1, 2, 3. We'll leave just 1. And when we look in here and we refresh, they're also gone on the DB side. First try. Let's go. This is kind of wild. We're just writing regular JavaScript. We are now pulling stuff from before, adding it to a database, removing from a database, DOMs updating. We're not even using React, so I mean it's a little janky, but like it's all working. That's pretty cool. Let's see if we can like turbo speed run a coffee chat button, like whether or not we had a coffee chat. I think that would be fun. So we can just keep track of like how we had a coffee chat with somebody at that company. Let's go and see if we can get that done in the top of the hour here. All right. Let's go back to our button. We're going to need another thing to click on here. We'll call const and we'll call it, I don't know, coffee button. And we'll do document. And we'll do create element. And we'll do another button. And then let's give it some content. And we'll set it equal to text content. And we'll set it equal to, is there like a good coffee emoji? I don't know if it'll render on. Ew, but we'll take it. All right. So we have that. And then we need to set up the click event. Cool dot on click equals. And then we'll call it just like, I don't know, update. Because we want to update something. We want to update whether or not we've had a chat. So we'll call it update chat. And we have to pass in the ID again of where we're at. Cool. Let's go ahead and add this to the LI. Append child coffee button. Cool. And I'm just going to yoink this one from up here just so we're doing it at the same time. And I probably want to delete after anyway. There we go. So now we have a delete button. We need that delete button to call an update chat function. Let's go ahead and create async function update chat. We're going to take in that ID and we need to go back to where? The docs. All right, let's go back to the docs. Here we go. Update document. Boom. Okay. Too easy. Throw it in there. In this update, we're going to need to grab all those pieces. So we have our database. We have our collection. We have our ID already passed. And now we need the thing that we're actually updating. I don't know if we need the permissions or not. I'm just going to delete them for now. We're going to, I'll leave the comments there just in case. We need the actual thing that we're changing. Well-written docs are a beautiful thing. Props to the Appwrite team for spending the time to make them readable. So readable and so easy. You just grabbing. All right, we need to actually change something. Do we have anything in our database that we could be changing at the moment? No, so we can just go fix it. But since the attributes are so easy to play with, we can just create a new attribute right away. So I'm just going to create an attribute called chat. Like, did we or not have a chat? And it can just be a Boolean and call it chat. And default, we'll set it to false. Doesn't need to be required. Yeah, I think that's all we need to do. If we go back and look at our documents and we kind of just give it a nice little refresh here, we have the chat property now, like the chat value here, and that's it. We just did it. We just added it. Like, what? All right. So now we have the chat. Let's add it to the DOM first. Because we have the button we're gonna click, but we need to like say like whether or not we had a coffee chat. So like coffee chat ? And then we can pull in the actual chat. So let's just save that. It's not the coffee chat button's not like working yet, but I just want to see if that shows up in the DOM. Yeah. All right, cool. We have coffee chat null right now. I love that we can actually see it. We just added it and it's there. We can change it. I think we did set it to false. But we can change it, but it's showing up. It's already there. So that's working. Now we just need to make this little coffee chat button work. And we'll be in a really good spot. So coffee chat button is there. It's calling update chat. We have the database, the collection ID, the ID of the thing that we want to update. And probably just the last thing that we have to do is we should just change chat to true, right? Let's change the property. That looks good. Let's see if we get any errors. Yeah, I didn't force it to be required, but that could have been a problem. Yeah, we'll see. We'll go back. All right, so we have it. We can still, let's make sure we can still delete by Flim Flam. And did we have a prestigious coffee chat with Tina's Tacos? Okay, we clicked it. Let's refresh. True. All right, it worked. It updated to true. We're cooking. We're in the kitchen. We're cooking. All right. That's wild. That's wild. First try. All right. So the last thing we just have to do is, I don't know, refresh the page. Yeah, let's just do it. Ain't no React around here. All right, so we have the result. So we can just like, we're already in the async. We can just like wait until it's done and then refresh the page. Is there anything wrong with? Yeah, we could just do that. All right. So we'll get the result. When we hear the result, I don't even need it, just arrow function. And then we'll just do location reload. Oh my God, it's so disgusting. All right. Vanilla's looking scary when you haven't used it in a while. I feel that heavy right now. Okay. All right. Let's go back. Let's refresh. Let's add we all very much dislike John's. What does John sell? This is deep lore. John sells this. This is going to be put into the tomes of history. Pizza, definitely pizza. All right, boom. Role, software engineer, location. I don't want to dox John, but so we'll just say Philly as a placeholder. Full time. URL HTTPS John's Pizza.co. All right, still working. We're able to add John's Pizza. We had a coffee chat with John, did we not? Results on a function. What did I forget to do? Did I? Oh, because it maybe doesn't like the. This is so jank. All right, let's see. Go back. All right, refresh. We have a coffee chat with John. It did go to true. It just didn't refresh the page. Let's delete it. I don't like John anyway. I need the full effect. John Pizza. Boom. Role. Software. He would say developer, wouldn't he? Billy. Full time. HTTPS. John's Pizza. Spell it wrong for John. Get out of here. All right. There we go. We added John's Pizza. We added John's Pizza. Wait, do I have it? Is it awaiting? Hold on. Is it awaiting? Is that what I missed? Oh, fuck me. My bad. There we go. There we go. Because I'm doing such jank code. A. Let's go ahead and boom, set the true with the refresh. Third try. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Now, fuck John. Get out of here. Boom. Bye, John. All right. So to recap, we now have, with just regular JavaScript, the ability to add jobs to our hit list, add whether or not we had a coffee chat with them, delete them if we hate them, And we can now build off of this to build the wonderful hit list app of our dreams. Hopefully you all saw how easy it is to go from zero to building really powerful stuff with the power of Appwrite. So I think this like blows my mind. If you are somebody that's just starting to go through 100 devs, this is so powerful. Any idea that you have, in just a few minutes, you can get up and running. Now, if you're further along and you have React, you're not going to be writing all the jank that we did today. You could actually have a lot of this stuff, state refreshing, all that fun stuff. And it would just all work. And the docs are so crispy, you can get whatever you want. It's easy to find. All this stuff has like a really good developer experience. You're just grabbing the values that you need and you're good to go. So I hope that you had fun building together. This will immediately become a VOD, so you can watch it back. I will put it up on YouTube with some good edits. We're going to follow up on Discord with the code so you have access to it. Some more stuff about Appwrite. They even have some open roles right now. So as you're building, we can hopefully, stand out in the process. We'll talk more about that. And so I want to just take a few seconds to talk about this weekend. We're going to do a raffle. We're going to do the Mac Mini giveaway, and we'll call it. So this weekend, I would love for you all to start building with Appwrite. Take what we just built today, make it your own, build on top of it. I am going to share out some different categories that you can submit whatever you build for a prize. And so we're going to have different categories. We're going to have the grand prize, which is $1,000. You can build by yourself. You can build with a team. We're going to have a special spot that's going to open up on Discord for folks that are building with Appwrite. So you'll see like a little special area that'll have a voice chat channel, a text channel. So as you're building, you're getting stuck, you can ask questions, work together. Maybe you're going to work on the hackathon together with the team. You can create a thread in there and do that. So all of that will open up for you. That way you can start building right away. You'll see the categories that I'll post. So there'll be some fun ones. There'll also be some early ones. There'll be some big ones. And so lots of different prizes and fun stuff that you can do. So I hope that you take tomorrow, Sunday. If you're in the US, you got a Monday holiday that maybe you could take some time to build. Add some stuff to your portfolio, have fun with it. We're back together on Tuesday for our huddle. And during the huddle, we'll announce the winners of the hackathon. So that'll be a fun follow-up. So you have until Monday, midnight PST. I'm going to share a lot more on Discord. If you're not on Discord, it's !Discord. I'll have all of the things you need to know about the hackathon. That way you can start building. If you haven't signed up for Appwrite, it's in the chat there. Appwrite, they gave us their special link. Please, you saw how amazing and easy it was to build all this stuff. They're sponsoring the stream. They're sponsoring our community. They've been here all night helping us. So please, click the link, sign up. Takes 20 seconds. You don't need to enter a credit card. You can hit that little X if you don't want to sign up for your credits right away. They stay in your account. I think when we looked, it was like until 2027 you have the credits. So go ahead and do that, please, for us. And we're going to do a raffle.